Okay, so just a couple days ago, Dollywood closed down Lightning Rod and placed a sign out front that reads, "Lightning Rod is closed for the balance of 2020 as it receives an upgrade from manufacturer Rocky Mountain Construction. In 2021, lightning strikes twice." Social media has been blowing up as to what this could possibly mean. There are multiple scenarios that can happen, maybe even more than one scenario, who knows. I thought it would be fun to run through some of the most logical scenarios that might be going on with Lightning Rod. But first, let's talk about the most unrealistic ideas I've heard. Lightning Rod will become a racing dueling roller coaster in 2021. Yeah, that idea seems highly unlikely. I mean, this would be amazing if it were to happen, but a mere 7 months is clearly not enough time to build another semi-clone of Lightning Rod next to the current track and have it tested and operational. This would be a huge investment, something I would expect a grand announcement for. Chances of this happening slim to none. Lightning Rod gets a second launch. The last line of their statement says, "In 2021, lightning strikes twice." For some, the most logical answer to that statement would be a second launch. I always assumed that the lightning in Lightning Rod was attributed to launching aspect. So if lightning were to strike twice, it would have to be a second launch, right? Well, as cool as this idea sounds, I don't see any reason why you would add another launch to this roller coaster because it has no need for it. The coaster flies into the brake run at near max speed. Where would you even add another launch? The only solution for another launch would be extending out the ride experience, but again, you could also do that now without adding a launch. The roller coaster flies down the side of the mountain and has enough momentum to perform a couple more elements. I would put the possibility of this scenario at slim to none. Lightning Rod gets converted over to a hybrid roller coaster with the I-box track. This idea has a little bit more weight behind it, as I could see the reasons for this transfer. It's no surprise that Lightning Rod is not a smooth roller coaster. There are a few sections of track that are really rough. It's possible that Dollywood wants this roller coaster to operate butter smooth, enhancing the overall attractiveness of the ride. 7 months, assuming the ride would open in the spring, seems like a tight schedule, but I think that could be enough time for this conversion. But we would need to see the track being ripped up right now and new track on site. Now, doing this transformation, Lightning Rod would no longer be considered the fastest wooden roller coaster or the only launched wooden coaster on the planet. For this reason, I don't think this is what's going down with this coaster. Possibility of this scenario, unlikely, but still possible. RMC retracts the entire ride. I'm not sure if the entire track would be redone or just a good portion of it, but it's possible that RMC has come up with a better solution for their current wooden track. One that would handle the intense forces that Lightning Rod puts on the track, allowing it to last longer than it currently does. A wooden roller coaster needs more maintenance than your average steel coaster, because the steel track is designed to last while the wooden tracks are less expensive but need replaced more often. Without breaking down into multiple smaller categories, it's possible that RMC will replace certain sections of the ride with steel track, similar to what we just saw happen with White Lightning at Fun Spot America. Dollywood could still keep that wooden roller coaster record while retracking some of the rough spots. The possibility of one of these scenarios, I'd say, is pretty high. A redone launch. Lightning Rod is well known to be a very unreliable coaster. It breaks down multiple times in a day, sometimes for a couple hours, or a couple days, weeks. Back during in the first 2 years of operation, it was like rolling the dice, hoping Lightning Rod would open during your visit. A new launch system might solve this problem, improving the ride reliability considerably. I think the possibility of this happening is very high. New trains. If you're going to upgrade the launching system, the park might need to get new trains that function with the new system. Buying coaster trains can be very costly, so I'd assume RMC would do their best to work with the trains that they currently have. But you never know. I'd say this possibility of the scenario is unlikely. Well, I've gone through a few options as to what RMC might do with Lightning Rod. I think the biggest line in that statement by the park is "the lightning strikes twice." What could that actually mean? To be truly honest, I have no idea. I've laid out some scenarios, but the only two that seem to work with that statement is the second launch or the dueling aspect. Both are extremely unlikely, and more than a simple upgrade to the ride. Again, the ride doesn't need a second launch. It's possible that the line lightning strikes twice in 2021 is just a clever pun of sorts, like going off the lightning never strikes twice saying. So it might not really mean anything, I don't know. In the end, I think whatever happens will be a positive change to the ride. I know Dollywood has never been satisfied with the ride's reliability, and if that issue alone can be solved, the changes would be considered well worth it. Well, thank you for watching today's video. What do you think will happen to Lightning Rod in 2021? Let me know all about it in the comments below. Please click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and as always, subscribe. That way you won't miss out on more great content coming your way by XscreamThrills.